You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, presented by the Only One Media Group. This is the people's choice for quality interviews, celebrities, and special guests. Hosted by Demetrius Dini Reynolds. Call in to join the mix at 701-801-9813. For the complete archive of episodes, visit onlyonemediagroup.com and be sure to like us on Facebook at Vigilantes Radio. We welcome all. Enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host, Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds. Enjoy the show.
Yo, what is up, and welcome to another awesome episode of Vigilantes Radio. I'm your host, dini-mussolini, and we have a very special guest for tonight's interview, so you definitely want to stick around for that. And if we don't speak again, happy New Year's to all. Hope you guys had an incredible Christmas, or happy holidays, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. Whatever you celebrate, I hope that it was festival, you know what I'm saying? Mine definitely was, and I'm still a little under the weather. As you can hear, I sound a little bit nasally, but the show must go on as always. All right, so reaching is an activity that's not just confined to the arms and your hands. When you reach with all you have, nothing is out of range. Reach with your legs. If something is currently out of reach, get yourself moving and go to where it is within your reach. Make the effort to move towards your goal rather than just waiting for them to come within easy reach. Reach with your mind. Visualize your objectives, see them clearly in your mind, and you will have already begun to obtain them. Use the power of your thought to develop a realistic strategy and plan of action for their attainment. Reach with your imagination. Be creative in your reaching. There's always more than one way to accomplish each objective. Put your imagination to work and expand your possibilities. If one path is hopelessly blocked, imagine a dozen alternatives and then follow the most compelling one. Reach with your spirit. Experience the joy in each moment of living, and you'll cultivate within yourself a consciousness of fulfillment. There is so much more you can reach when you are sincerely thankful for the things that you've already obtained. Take that from me, dini-mussolini. That is my word, and word is bond.
Yo, hello, and welcome to another awesome episode of Inside the Music, or Inside the Book, Inside the Business, where we dive into the minds of the people who create marvelous things. It feels so good to be back with you guys once again. So one time for my people who are indigos, crystalline, or starseeds, or for my Vigilantes audience family, and 2 times for my people who are vegetarian or vegans. If you're like me, we are averaging over 37,000 live listeners, and we've been at this for 4 solid years. I appreciate all you guys who've been rocking with the kid on this journey, and we are still evolving, baby. It is all because of you, most definitely. We are the people who have dedicated their lives to music, spirituality, business, literature, art, movies, and research in every aspect, and we want to allow you an opportunity to tell your story. Man, we've had celebrities on our show, from Grammy Award-winning artists to nominees to actors, comedians, CEOs, technology geniuses, visual artists, from authors to professors and aliens, or people who think they're aliens. It doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. Come on our show and talk to me. So check it out. To book an interview or just to share a real cool story, email me at vradio@onlyonemediagroup.com, and that's V as in Victor. I'm passionate about what I do, just as passionate about what you do, and together, yes, together, we can get your voice heard by the people who should hear it. So let's create something incredible. You know the number to dial, 701-801-9813. Text that number to your buddy right now and tell them to tune in to connect with us or our guests, or you can hop in the mix directly from our website, onlyonemediagroup.com. Right from the homepage, you can slap that go live button and you'll be right here live in the mix and in the chat room with all of us. Feel free to shoot over some questions to ask our guests while they are here, but only as time permits. Sometimes my guests and I talk entirely too much and we take up the entire hour. And as always, all episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/onlyonemediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, or any app from the Google Play or iTunes Store, or over at our website. And that goes for every single episode that we ever aired.
Well, tonight's interview is the Kilo-Moe interview, and again, I'm your host, Dini-Mussolini. Our interviews go beyond the music, the books, the films, the businesses, and into the minds of the artists or people who create these marvelous aspirations. From researching our special invited guest, mining for details, watching, reading, and listening to everything we can, we're like TMZ digging out the secrets. Our interviews are designed to bring out the best answers through provoking questions with some thought behind it. Well, maybe we aren't like TMZ, but it was worth a shot. Anyway, a sincere warm welcome to Kilo-Moe for being on our show tonight. We'll have an absolutely amazing time talking with him about his start in music and so much more. Point being, I'm sure he has a lot of incredible things to say here, and I don't want to give too much away. So with that, let's go ahead and welcome him to the show. Kilo-Moe, you're now live in the midst with all of us. How's it going?
I'm pretty good. How are you? Peace, by the way. Peace. Peace, everybody out there.
Yes, peace and blessings, man. And I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Yeah, man, we're about to jump into a new year, man. Any resolutions for this new journey into the new year?
It's exciting. I don't really do resolutions. I mean, because, I work by the plan and all of that, but there's goals that's already set, and I already see them through and done. So, I just really want to see my plans through and see the things that I put down on paper, and, just kind of in continuing, the momentum that we, over the past few years that we've gotten us to this point. So basically, new decade, new thoughts, bigger aspirations and things of that nature. Forward.
Most definitely.
Forward. Yeah, forward.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So, man,
onward.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So, thank you so much for taking out the time to speak with us here in today's interview. I'm really looking forward to what you might have to say. From what I learned, read, and researched, music is pretty important to the life of Kilo-Moe. But I suppose just because I've been doing my homework doesn't mean that the world is completely familiar with the full story. So from your own perspective, what's the music all about?
Man, with me, the music is about motivation, inspiration on a deeper level of it. When you listen a little deeper and taking every word, just trying to inspire, creativity, and also at the same time, while I'm trying to inspire creativity for people and inspire growth and self-empowerment and all those cool, nuances, I'm really trying to dispel negativity and push it away and, get it far away and just try to, win the big fight. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Most definitely. All right. Well, give us a little history on your background and some insight on what's important to you when you're. Let's go with the history first. Yeah, give us a little background on your history, how you got started in music.
Man, my background it starts way back. I'm a bit of a military kid, so my story is complicated. People are like, where you from? And I'm like, all over. It gets complicated. I never really lived nowhere, more than 5-6 years at a time. So a lot of my influence is worldly. I lived in Germany for 4 years. I lived in Kansas, of all places, for 6 years. I was born in Jersey City, and I lived there a couple of years. I lived in Baltimore on and off. Both times, it was just a couple of times. I lived there 7 years once and 5 years another time, So, I lived down in Florida. So I've been all these places, and I started my music career overseas in Germany that's when I first really heard hip hop as a kid. And so from there, I just really got into it. My brother was a DJ, He's a DJ, so with him DJing, you know, I was always around music. My family's musical. My father can sing. My grandmother can sing. God bless the dead. I just lost her actually back in August. So, but my grandmother could sing. Yeah, and her sisters could sing. They actually blew the whole funeral up. They sang real big. You know how we do it, black folks, man. They did it up real big, seen her off real well. So I've been around that, you know, all my life. You know what I'm saying? So when I was in Germany, got into hip hop. I got casted when I was about 8 years old, 8 years old, around 80, 84. You know what I mean? I just dated myself, but nobody can count no way. Anyway.
Right.
But, I just dated myself, nobody can count no way. So back then, like, I got casted for a movie, Enemy Mine, Red Lines for it, did the whole works. It didn't work out. I was a little, you know, antsy back then. I had to put on this suit, makeup, and all this stuff. 20th Century Fox is based over in Europe, by the way, in Munich. At the time, we lived in Munich. So from all of that, we moved over. I ended up in Kansas from there, and that's where I get the name Kilo-moe. That's how this whole persona came about, and, you know, I got into the streets. I just really developed my whole thing there. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so... although it was odd, I didn't spend the most time there, but I guess I spent the most significant years there. You know what I'm saying? So,
right,
you know, I was influenced. I played sports there, played basketball, you know what I mean, went to college there. So I did a whole lot of things there, and so that's kind of shaped and developed. You know, the East Coast-ish, West Coast-ish person can't really nail me down type of vibe I throw off sometimes, right?
Right. Yes, sir. Got it. Mm-hmm. So, what's important to you when you're performing the music that you feel represents you the best?
Oh man, you know, the most important part of that is like energy, like, and I'm not talking about energy where, you know, just jumping around and jumping off the stage and stage diving off. No, I'm talking as energy as in, you know, connection with the crowd. Like, we're connected, and we feel the highs at the same time. We feel the lows at the same time. We hands up at the same time. You know what I mean? We all take the ride and connect, and the energy is like, you know, if you've been to a real good concert, I mean like a big joint. If you've been to a big joint, you know that energy I'm talking about, where it's like you come out of there drained, like, yo, I connected. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of deal. So energy is like the most important thing when I perform my songs. Like, yeah, and that's the thing about listening to my songs, because remember, I'm an older school artist, and so, you know, about me is like we record songs to perform them. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so a lot of times it's like, yeah. Hearing my song is not the same as like seeing it performed and seeing the song, you know, take life. And that's, you know, we don't record for radio or studio, you know what I mean? For, you know, lack of a better term. So that's energy. That's
true. And even on that same note, be from any type of class or school of this music, sound and style has always been the prominent answer or the prominent force to what drives most artists, especially hip hop. What would you say defines your style and sound?
Man, my sound and my style, they go hand in hand, you know, and my style is really, if you really want to get like visual and technical, my style is more like 80s, let's just say Alpo era, you know, 80s drug dealer era, you know, 87, 88 crack era. That's where style was like, where we was coming out, you know, Dapper Dan and painting at the back of our jean jackets and, you know, and rocking the, you know, it was the thing to have the most expensive shoes and the most expensive coats. You know, that was hip hop. So that's, you know, that's the style, and my sound, it coincides with that style, and that's big anthem hooks and bass lines and you know, just that real cool swagger. You jump on a beat, you can jump out the beat, you can jump on top of it, in and out, wavy around, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the style and sound, you know, just, you know, jumping out the foreign joint that's dropped with the rims on it type of riding around. We do our stuff in the car. Like, we don't make music for the phone and the headphones. You know what I'm saying? We make music for the car, 8 speakers. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you sit down and you ride around and you make stops and you get money and you drop it off and you pick it up. You know, it's for that swagger and that style. It's for that guy right there. You know what I mean?
That knock.
Yeah, that nod. Yeah, you know, the trunk breathing. You know what I'm saying? For the trunk breathing.
Oh,
you know, you spent a few. Yeah, you spent a few on a few. You know what I'm saying? So that right there, and that's what we do it for. You know, we're not looking for quotables and lines. We looking for memorable joints. Like when you get in the car, that's what you got to put in. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, hey, you got to hear me. You got to hear this on this. You know what I'm saying? Like that right there. Right. You know, so that's our style and our sound, man, and we come from that. And that's, you know, I come from that. You know, I'm a '90s dude. You know what I'm saying? Like. But, you know, it goes much deeper than that. It's not just old against new or nothing like that. It's like I evolved it, and I'm fusing that style with new and old and everything. You know how everything just come back around. Like, you know, I was telling my kids, I was like, yo, you know, we wore Jordans too. We did the same thing. We dripped out. You know what I'm saying? We just said we was fly. Y'all saying y'all got drip. I mean, it's the same thing.
Same thing.
It's the same thing. It's not.
Kilo-moe, what's currently playing on your playlist that's inspiring you to create these days?
Man, look, I'm gonna keep it all the way buck with you. Like, I've been listening to nothing but like late 70s, early 80s, like long playlists. I'm talking like Renee and Angela, you know what I'm saying, Yarborough and Peoples and Shalimar and SOS Band. Like, I've been religiously playing that every day. Like, every day. That's the stuff I've been playing. Yeah, literally. Hall & Oates. I ain't even going, you know what I'm saying? I was like, let me keep it all the way buck with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, That's what I've been playing every day. Yeah. My kids know the songs. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody know these songs. I play them all the time. You know, everybody walking around, baby, we can do it. Take your time. You know what I mean? Like, I've been listening to stuff like that. Yeah, the classics. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been doing. Yeah. Yeah. Very little hip hop except my own. That's it. Like, that's it. Okay. The past, 5-6 months. That's what I've been doing. Yeah, that's been the move, the wave. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So let's chat about that first time around the block. You know, when you first began to write and record music. Tell us about those experiences. They happen in different eras, different time frames and different reasons and different ways. So, I mean, like, when I first started, the first time I was ever in a recording studio, that was when I was about 12, right? My father, he worked for a communications company, and he had acts, he had groups and all of this good stuff, and I went to the studio with them, and I got to lay something down, and it was like real, like, whoa, what? I only seen it and heard about it. My brother used to do the stuff. I just had a microphone in the room, but nothing spectacular. But like, from there, it was like a bug bit me, and then I was like, I need to learn how to use this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I need to get a board. Then it was like, once I got a little older, I started trying to get around places and get to studios, but I would say, like, about the time I came home, I was locked up for, about six years. I did a little bit of time, you know what I'm saying, for the case I caught in the 90s. So I did some time. I did music in there. We stayed in the music room. We did performances and everything. But when I got out, I was like, man, I wish we can record this stuff. So I got with a guy, man, God bless the dead. Lost him last year. You know what I'm saying? My man D. He really, gave me a lot of direction on it and showed me how to, use the smaller, the cheaper, because I got out and you can buy stuff cheaper. I didn't know you can get programs and different things. He started showing me stuff, and I learned how to use it, and that's when I was just like, yo, this is what I need to do. This is worth a lot of money. I think we can make this into something. You know what I mean? And so, like, in these different, like I'm saying, in like these different eras and different times, it's like there's different little reasons and different. Every time I've gotten to be able to, man, I tell, man, like when I say younger dudes like that are in their early 20s, they don't really appreciate how hard it was to record in my time. You know what I'm saying? Right. To just lay vocals. Yeah, tracking vocals was like the hardest thing to do because it costs a lot of money. You know what I mean? Like, and if you didn't know nobody, you couldn't just roll up somewhere and be like, I mean, I got $300, let me record. You couldn't just do that. So, like, each one of those, I appreciate them, and I appreciate them through the evolution, and then I appreciate them through my sound evolution in the same way as I start to add and do different things. So it's really hard to pin down which one was my favorite, but all of these different things kind of shape them all. Every time I get ready to do it, it's just amazing to me. It's a gift, you know what I mean, from the universe. And it's like, man, we can do this. We can put things out, people listen to it and enjoy who we are. And it's just amazing, I'm an appreciative person over that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Love it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real in the field. It's real in the field.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
So from that experience and with dropping your projects, what knowledge did you gain from all of that, like from start to finish up to the point where you are now with your work, that you have been able to maintain as you progress through the years?
The biggest part of it is owning my work, owning all of it, every single bit of it, and then knowing what that means, you know, because you have to know what that means because there's a responsibility to it, and you owe a responsibility to it. But being able to own my own thing and not growing up in the realm of, and I'm saying growing up as an artist, not growing up in the realm of, I need to get record deal, I'm doing this because somebody's going to find me and give me some money and think I'm so great. And, you know, it was never for that. Never. You know, and so, yeah, so being able to evolve and learn that ownership equals a whole different lane than being a hot artist. Just being a hot artist. They mean two different things, and they give you two different things, you know. And then you have to know what you want out of those two things, you know, and what they're going to do for you later. Nobody like to say that word, later. Like, what are they going to do for you later? Yeah. So that's the biggest part I learned, and I'm fortunate enough I learned that from the beginning, from the early stages of it. You know what I mean? Like, hey, yo, this is a product, and you know what? I can actually sell this product, and I can reinvest into it and make it a bigger product. I can make more products from this product. I can, you know, so on and so forth. No different than when we was on the streets, and it was just like it was. Yeah, it's just so cliche-ish, but some people can identify. Like, you just take kind of what you learned on the streets. I mean, if you knew what that meant, and you take it and you know, apply it in a different, you know, area with a different mindset. It's just kind of, you know, so I'm telling you, and I keep telling these guys, if you really understood what ownership meant, that's going to be the thing. But I get Master P now, why he goes around still, and he kind of, he's like the ambassador for it. He's like, you know, Nip, everybody like to talk about Nip, and there ain't nothing, never taking nothing from Nip. I can never take nothing from Nip. You know, God bless his dead. But it's like Master P was like showing us a long time ago. He was telling us, like, own your thing. So I get where he's coming from. That's the biggest part of this entertainment thing. I'm saying entertainment in general. I'm talking podcasts, everything. You know what I'm saying? It's what you own. You know what I mean? Like, that's the... People don't know what that means yet, though. You don't know what that means. So, yeah, that. Yeah, man, I can get on the soapbox. My bad, man. I ain't even trying to take your joint over there.
No, man, you good. I love it. And people need to hear more of that. You know, it's just not Nip who was talking. It was Master P. It was, I mean,
E40.
E40. Yeah.
E40, too short. Yeah. Man, the Bay Area, you know what I mean? You know, Bay Area, all, you know.
That's right.
Yeah, Jay-Z, you know, but you know what's funny? You know, like the New York thing, a lot of people don't know, like, New York had an indie movement a long time ago. They already did it. You know, and the indie movements were Cold Chillin', you know what I'm saying? Sylvia, Rome, that was the indie movement. Sugar Hill, that was Sugar Hill Records, that was indie movements a long time ago, you know? And they just kind of, you know, I'm still on this question. That's the thing about with music. What I learned is, like, I like to dig into the history and into the business history of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to look into the business of it. That's where you really understand what this is that we're involved in. You know what I mean? Like, what it really is.
That's right.
You know? Yeah. Everybody ain't ready for that conversation yet. So, you know, everybody's not ready. You know, there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
There's levels to
it. So, are you putting any pressure on yourself with these new releases?
Oh, yes. And this year was the most pressure. You know, I put out 9 releases this year as a label. You know, I put out 9 releases this year. I put out mine in January, and then I followed up with my man Pops Jr., you know, from up there. He's up in Washington, you know, and then I just went down the line and I put out 9 joints. And every time, you know, here's the pressure, though. Here's the pressure is we set a mark, you know, we set a number, a goal. We get that number, we get that goal, right? So then the next one comes up, and it's like, oh, man, you know, all right, here we go. And what if, and you know, in each time there's always pressure because, you know, it's not only about just saying, hey man, I'm hot or I'm not hot. It's about a livelihood, and it's about making sure, you know, everybody really is earning and everybody is gaining and everybody is benefiting. You know what I mean? So, you know, and that's where everybody's talking about a boss. But I'd be like, how many people did you take responsibility for? You know what I'm saying? Like how many projects did you take responsibility for? Not just, you know, hey, I got the hot mixtape. I'm talking about responsibility. I'm talking about filings and the right things, the right stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like how much of that are you managing and you making sure staying on top of and calling accountant and being at the bank when your bank ain't right? You know, that's nobody like doing that. Like, dang, my bank ain't right. I gotta call them. You know, nobody like doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's bossing up with, you know, and that's the pressure. It's a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? It's tense. You know what I mean? But not in a bad way. And when I say tense, it's not negative stress. It's exciting. You're alive. It's exhilarating. You know, that's the pressure that, you know, you kind of get up for. That's the grizz what it is. That's my hashtag. That's my line. That's what I mean. That's the OMG Entertainment on my Grizzly. That's what that means. Is a shameless plug. That's what that means. Is the grizz what it is. So, right.
Yeah. So, it's often said that great art arises from difficult experiences. Is there something in your life experienced thus far that you would describe as your catalyst, or that fueled your desire to create more music, or maybe it was a particular song that comes to mind that you penned from an event that happened in your life?
This is all of that, you know. Now, I'm such an abstract, you know, rhymer and thinker at the same time. So creatively, it's like I'm channeling all of those experiences. And that man is Kilo-Moe, the guy, the man, the myth, the urban legend, the infamous, you know, that guy right there. You know, it was all of those days where I should have been in school, but I was out there on the streets. You know, all of those days where, you know, where I ran off and couldn't pay the dude back, and I had several dudes chasing me because I ain't have their money. You know what I'm saying? You know, or we just keep it real. We could keep it real. Like everybody, you know, you got all these rappers, man. They never even been hit before in the face. Like, oh no, ain't nobody never hit me in the face. Like, you ain't never been in no fight, my dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's all of those fights like that. Yeah, it's all of those fights and scars and late nights and all of those people during that time that was just straight up hating on you, just saying, yo, man, what you doing? That ain't nothing. Meanwhile, they're doing worse than you, but they're the ones that got all of the opinion on you. And it's all of that stuff there that just creates the whole vibe, the whole Kilo-Moe vibe. If you could get behind that, that's why I'm like, yo, I'm inspiring you. Just, it's perspective. You just gotta say that. You gotta say the words. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying the words, but I'm speaking mine. You know what I mean? You gotta say the words. And that perspective is gonna attach to you because, you know, a lot of us went through the same thing. You know what I mean? Even if we think it's different, you know what I mean? But the guy who lost all of his money in the stock market and a guy on the street that just had his door kicked in, they felt the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They felt the same thing. And at that moment, that very second, they was equal. You know what I'm saying? It was a brief second, but you was equal. You know what I'm saying? Y'all was the same motherfucker. So what you do after that is what changes the trajectory of who you are and how you come to be. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So
that's right.
That's what we take from, and then we take that and we put it in art. Because to me, and just in my respectful opinion, is art defines a culture. We don't know that culture if it's not for their art. You understand? Right. Without their art, we don't know what their culture is. We don't have an understanding of it. We don't know what they eat, drink, like. You know, we don't know how they smell. We don't know none of that without their art. Even perfume is art. You understand? Perfume is art. We don't know none of that without. You know what I mean? So experiences give you, you know, that, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So I told you I can go all day, man. My bad. I just go.
Oh, you're good. Good, man.
I just go. Go.
Is there any surprises we should look forward to nibble on for 2020?
Oh, yes. Plenty. I got a video dropping. I got New Year's Day. I got I got King Money that's coming out. That's a new single just out of nowhere. And I teamed up with my man from over there in Kansas, out of Topeka, Fat Cat OGC. He produced it, blessed me with the hook and everything. We're going all the way in. That drops New Year's Day. You know what I'm saying? All platforms already ready to go. Just look for King Money. All you got to do is just type in kilo-moe, King Money, and also, check out my man Fat Cat OGC. That's dropping. Got a video coming after that, and that's not even going to be the only one. I probably even got an album coming out. I don't want to date it yet, but sometime the end of next month. That's what all this noise is about right now. I got an album about to come out, so I got a lot. The next 3 weeks is ham. That's why we're here. And hey, you kicked it off.
Thank you.
Vigilante Radio kicked it off.
You gave me the honor, man. Appreciate it.
It happened here.
Thank you so much.
It happened here. You broke that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You broke that. No. Thank you. It's not possible without media, radio, press. Not possible without y'all. We don't eat without y'all. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
Right, so
salute
let all
the
of our
DJs.
listeners know where they can connect with you online.
You can always connect with me, www.kilo-moe-music.com. Just remember, when you say Mo, that's the E on the end, M.O.E, kilo-moe-music.com. You can also Google Kilo-Moe, M.O.E or M.O.E, Kilo-Moe, and everything is there. You can stream, you can play videos, you can do all of that good stuff.
Definitely. All right, Kilo-Moe, it was definitely my pleasure having you on this interview today to talk about your life and the things you got coming up in 2020, getting some insight into your music, man. I really appreciate that.
No, I really appreciate you for having me, man. That was exciting.
Thank you so much, man. Enjoy your evening.
Hey, you do the same, man. And peace, everybody. Love.
Thank you, my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1mediagroup, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre-free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Dini-Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word, because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the #1 rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable, because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace, and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.onlyonemediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.